Hi, I'm Rahul Mehra, CTO and co-founder of ConsultRed. Today, I wanted to share some of my thoughts on where AI really belongs in the connected home. Large language models are already delivering real value for media operators and communication service providers. They excel at things like navigating full media catalogues, answering general questions using world knowledge, and identifying patterns and live trends across huge datasets. These are exactly the kinds of capabilities that have made AI feel immediately useful and accessible to users and operators alike. They have also set a clear expectation that AI should be a part of how people discover, control, and interact with content in their home. The challenge is that most of this intelligence lives in the cloud. That works well for global search, discovery, and large-scale analysis, but it starts to struggle when AI becomes part of the product itself. Issues arise. Increasing cloud inference cost drives up the OpEx on every transaction. Privacy becomes harder to maintain. Latency can become noticeable, and reliability becomes dependent on a service you don't control. At that point, the AI stops feeling like part of the device and starts behaving like a bolt-on. This is why hybrid AI is becoming inevitable. People are introducing smaller, specialized models, so-called small language models at the edge, to handle time-sensitive and context-aware tasks. Running these models locally increases the privacy, reduces latency, and makes the experience feel more immediate and more dependable, all whilst lowering costs. Larger models remain in the cloud, where they excel at world knowledge, catalog scale understanding, and trend analysis. Crucially, these are accessed using anonymous, abstracted profiles, whilst the raw household data remains in the home. It is interaction that exposes whether this architecture works in practice. Voice is a good example, not because it's the goal, but because it's unforgiving. Any delays, dropped connections, or inconsistent behavior immediately undermine trust. The same is true for automation, recommendations, and real-time control. These are the moments where local intelligence matters. Once you accept that more intelligence needs to live locally, the real question becomes where it should sit. A next-generation set-top box can host the AI. It has proximity to the media and is part of a faster refresh cycle. The cost of deploying the edge AI hardware can potentially be shared with the user depending on the operator's business model. Similarly, introducing the edge AI into a connected TV is another option. The hardware is a smaller marginal cost increase, and in a TV, it sees any plugged-in devices such as games consoles, streaming sticks, Blu-ray players, etc. The TV itself may have more features. For example, cameras or a far-field voice both reduce user friction and can give the operator more context about who else is present. However, the hardware update cycles for TVs are longer. A standalone dedicated AI device to add capability adds cost and complexity and can increase fragmentation, but it could still be useful in certain circumstances. Wherever you put the hardware, networking enables AI within your closed ecosystem, but this doesn't cover bring your own devices such as phones, tablets, or smart home gadgets. These are all personal, transient, and owned by the user and aren't typically controlled by the operator. Although it may be possible for them to access the operator ecosystem via operator apps, ultimately you won't see all of the traffic from bring your own devices. Each of these options works in isolation. None of them sees the whole home. The router is different. It's the one device that already sits at the center of the home. It's always on and it sees all traffic. It is trusted by every device. Anchoring local intelligence at the router creates a consistent foundation across media, apps, automation, and interaction. It includes voice where it makes sense, and it includes the personal data. Architecturally, it's the most coherent option, Commercially, it's the most defensible one. By enabling AI on the router, you bring the entire home network into play, including devices outside of your ecosystem. This matters because the technology giants already understand the value of owning intelligence in the home. They are extending their reach across streaming platforms, voice assistants, operating systems, smart displays, and home networking. Each step looks incremental, but taken together, they position those platforms between the operator and the customer. If intelligence lives entirely in the cloud, it will inevitably live in their cloud. They will answer the user's general questions. They will gather the trending data. They will route the request to services of their choice. And ultimately, they will monetize the user's every request. When this happens, operators lose more than just technical control. They lose relevance in the customer relationship. They lose the ability to differentiate on services. And over time, they lose margin and relevance. This does not happen overnight. It is a gradual shift driven by where the intelligence is anchored. Deciding where AI lives is not a technical afterthought. It's a platform decision with long-term commercial consequences. Anchoring intelligence at the edge and using the cloud selectively retains the control and protects your customer relationship and gives you space to innovate. Wherever you are in your journey, come talk to us about how to successfully embed that AI at the edge and offer users compelling, cost-effective use cases and retain your relationships. Avoid simply delivering connectivity into somebody else's ecosystem.